You guys seem cool, so I'll go ahead and let you in on this. I am bisexual. I like hanging out with the bros because I'm the only queer person that they talk to, so they ask me all the questions. One that I get a lot is, when did you know? Which is said with this fear in their eyes that they're going to wake up gay. You know? When did you figure that out, man? I tell them, like, I think it's the same as it is for anybody, you know? Like 12, 13 hours after I took the vaccine.
All the girls I work with, they're like, oh, you're a comedian. Where can we see your stuff? Do you post on like Snapchat or TikTok? I'm like, no, I'm on this new app. It's called My Chart. That's where I post all my stuff. If you want to slide into my DMs, we can talk about my leaky gut and my brown spots.
I was back home visiting my parents. I found out they started going to a super church. It's a weird experience, yeah. Yeah, because you walk in there, and it's a stadium. And then on stage, there's a Christian rock band with like 5 of the hottest people you've ever seen in your life. And you're like, well, of course they believe in God. You know, it's just a hot chick with big tits and the bass, and she's like, everything just kind of works out for me. I think it's Jesus. Not quite sure. My cup overflow with free drinks from the Lord.
It's funny how time works. You know what I mean? Like last year, I wasn't doing shit like this. Last year, I was working at a prison. Yeah, and on my birthday. Yeah, I told one of the prisoners, I was like, hey, you know it's my birthday today, right? He was like, oh, I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm in prison. I was like, damn, bro. Okay. I'm sorry. I used to try to help them out. I gave one of them a fake nude picture of Nicki Minaj. just trying to be helpful. I was like, you need this more than I do. He's like, I don't want this shit. He's like, I want a picture of Ella Fitzgerald. I said, Ella Fitzgerald, nigga, how long have you been in jail, bro? Sitting here watching porn like this and shit. You got that kaleidoscope porn.
I'm trying to be more progressive. I'm trying to learn from my gay daughter. She said, Mom, sometimes I like girls, and sometimes I like boys, and sometimes I like girls that are boys, and sometimes I like boys that are girls, and sometimes I like people that aren't boys or girls. And I said, stop. I am trying to be supportive, but you sound like a whore.
My dad's turning 75, guys. Anybody else here in a position you couldn't afford a present for your own dad and you're over like 44 and you're contemplating making him a gift? Just like your handprints on a sheet of paper, Cheerio necklace. It's like, forget that. He's not going to think that's cute anymore. I just got to nip this in the bud. So I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I'm going to level with you. I don't know what you want for your birthday this year. How about you just take $60 out of what you normally give me every month? And just take Mom to laser tag, you know.
You know, I was watching the new James Bond movie the other day, and he's just driving down the coast with a girl on his shoulder, and she's just like, James, could we go faster? And he's just like, why? We've got all the time in the world. And I'm just so high on my couch like, that sounded so cool coming out of his mouth. You know, because if that was my life, she'd be like, Peter, can we go faster? And I'd be like, why would the bus driver do that? I could ask him. I don't think he will, though. You know, and then another reason I like James Bond is I don't think he uses condoms. Do you guys? Any of you? Yes or no? Shout it out. You don't use them. All right, I was asking about James Bond, but that's good to know. Because, like, I don't think he uses condoms. And I think I get it, because, like, when you live like that, you're not concerned with fatherhood. Also, he's got a license to kill, so I bet he's pro-choice. It's a pretty solid abortion joke, guys. It's a pretty good one.
I liked Jesus in the Bible, but there were small things that I didn't like that I couldn't get with. Like, Jesus has all these apostles, right? But all these apostles have these like white names, right? What are those apostles' names? Paul, John, Peter. I looked it up. There was an Andrew in there. An Andrew, 2,000 years ago, in the Middle East. You tell me he was hanging out with a motherfucker named Andy? Think about how that sounds. Hi, it's me, Jesus of Nazareth. Not Allentown, Pennsylvania. Nazareth. I was born in a town called Bethlehem. Bethlehem. Oh, and Jesus, who's your friend? Oh, this right here? That's Trevor, is who that is. Yeah, we got Trevor, Andrew, Ethan in the cut, the boys, you know?
I tried to go skydiving the other day. Turns out I'm too hefty to skydive, okay? I get up to the register, chick is like, step on the scale. I get up to the scale, her face instantly shrinks. And I mean, she tried her best. I was in front of all of my friends and she was just like, is everything out of your pockets? I'm like, damn, do I look like a Looney Tunes character? Like, I got an anvil in my pocket. It's insane. We can drop tanks and Hummers from planes, but not my big ass.
When I'm high, I like listening to music. I feel like I'm more insightful. I tend to listen to every lyric. Last week I got high and I listened to Fly Like an Eagle by Seal. You ever heard that song? It's a nice song. Word for word, he don't make sense, that whole damn song. He said, I want to feed the people with nothing to eat. I want to shoe the people with no shoes on their feet. I want to house the people living in the street. There's a solution. Let me fly like an eagle. How the fuck is that a solution? If I asked you for help and you said that shit to me, I would be devastated. I live in Brooklyn. I'm assuming Brooklyn, just like Chicago, every 5 seconds you outside, somebody's like, yo, you got $1? Could you imagine if I said, I got you, bro? Hold on. Ah! Like, yo, where the fuck you going, yo? That's...
But it's fun to think about, right? Like, oh, if men got periods, what would it be like, you know? Like, obviously, you know, they get the week off from work, right? You know, you can get an abortion out of Walgreens, easy, right? No big deal. But I think the thing we don't talk about when we talk about if men got periods is what the hygiene situation would be. Yeah. Because I think if a man got a period, he'd get up from a chair and be like, oh, you can just wipe that off. That's nothing. Don't worry about that.
And I finally swiped right on this brown boy. He's Arab. I'm Indian. For the white people, what is the difference? I got the light, so we don't have time to go down this racist choose-your-own-adventure. I will tell you, Arabs talk like this, and Indians talk like this, and that's it. It's marketing.
But the good thing about New York City is I've dated a lot of different types of guys, you know? Like, I've dated a lot of different ethnicities. I think that's healthy. Like, I think it's good for perspective, you know? Because, like, white guys are fun. Just because they get so amped. They're very excitable. Like, I remember the first time I took off my shirt in front of a white guy. As soon as I got it off, he was just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Holy smokes! I kind of want to take a picture to show the bros. With your permission! With your permission! I just kind of want to show the bros. And you know, I don't know any black guys that say holy smokes. It's just culturally not a thing we do. That's just a joke. I don't want y'all thinking date white men. These are...
It's a tough, weird life we live as comedians, you know? I'm going to give you an example. I went to a birthday party earlier this weekend for a 10-year-old boy named Tommy, you know? And it's not like he invited me. I don't even know the kid, but I was invited by his mother. His mom's a friend of mine. So I go to the party, and at first it was really cool. She introduced me to her son. She said, Tommy, this is Blake. Blake is a stand-up comedian. And the little boy's eyes lit up. He said, wow, you do comedy? I said, that's right, Tommy. He said, wow. Where do you normally perform? And I said, usually at comedy clubs. He said, wow. Do you have a show tonight? I said, yes, I do, Tommy. Right after your birthday, I'm going to drive and do a comedy show. And he goes, that's so cool. Is it at a comedy club? And I said, no. No, not tonight. Tonight's a little different. Tonight I'm at a fish fry in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. It's like a fish fry bingo party sort of thing. I'm going to do some jokes before everybody eats. And I saw his face change. And then he was like, oh, how much money do you get paid for a show like that? And I said, it's not about the money, Tommy. To me, it's not about the money. To me, it's about the thrill of performing and traveling and trying to make people laugh. And he said, well, it sounds like you don't make a lot of money doing this. Is that fair to say? And I said, well, Tommy, that depends on how you look at it. Really, like I perform every night, and I always get paid when I perform. It's always different. I'll tell you this, the money I'm going to make at this one show in Wisconsin is probably more money than you have. If you want to add it up, Tommy, I bet the money I make on this show alone is more money than you have altogether, I'd imagine. And he said, well, my aunt gave me $40 for my birthday. And I said, it's not about the money, Tommy. I thought I already said that. It's not